Welcome to Straight From The Muzzle, folks, where we are anything but straight. I'm Space.
And I'm Rorie.
We welcome you guys to today's show. It's hard to, it's really hard to keep a straight face, let alone keep a straight, focus on this.
Well, because we can't do anything straight.
No.
If you ever park a car, you just can't keep it in the lines.
No one ever parks. Whoever parallel parks perfectly, I hate you. It's just not. It's impossible.
Oh, I live in Atlanta, and I still refuse to parallel park. I will pay at a parking deck to avoid parallel parking.
That's my shining time, is when I can actually parallel park, because I actually do it okay. But I have a secret. For anyone who has automatic mirrors that you can adjust, like your side mirrors. Depending on where I'm parking, usually it's on the right side because that's the law here in the United States. If you're parking, it's I take the right side mirror and I tilt it down so I can see the sidewalk, and then I use that as my guideline. Granted, it's not a 3-point or a 4-point. It's more like a 20-point until I can get in there and shimmy myself in. Which at that point, it's like, how the hell am I going to get out?
Is that how gay sex works?
Yeah, kind of. You wind your way in there in that little maze of of wonders, and then you're just like, okay, I'm in, but I can't remember how to get out.
Guess we're stuck here for a while, guys.
It's not like you can grab the grappling. Is it the grappling? Is a grappling gun? Is that what that is? A grapple gun that shoots out?
Like in Legend of Zelda.
Okay, so it's not like you can grab the grappling rope here and then wind it back in. It's not gonna. I mean, I guess it kind of would work like that, but in my mind, if it's gonna be a maze, it's gonna be a lot harder than that. Might as well just cut the rope off where it is and just let it know that it's going to just stay and be lost forever.
Well, Straight from the Muzzle, folks. We were talking about parking for 10 minutes.
No, we didn't talk about parking for 10 minutes. We talked it for 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
I know. I'm exaggerating. Look. Gay people exaggerate.
Our stories wouldn't be good if we didn't exaggerate. That's why straight people struggle to write good books.
Wow, what a generalization there.
Right? Hello. Anyway, so our first episode is more or less to kind of introduce who we are. Most of you guys should know who we are at this point, since we've been doing this for such a long time, but there's always going to be brand new listeners. Also to kind of introduce what we're doing specifically. As you've noticed, we don't do live shows as much anymore, if not anymore at all. There's reasons for that, and I can explain that on a side tangent on another show.
Here's a clue. We're old and depressed.
Yes, that is definitely true. I am. You're on depressants too, aren't you?
Yeah.
And so am I. Along with the rest of the world. So can you imagine if we all decided to just cut cold turkey? If you thought actual born psychos were bad enough, you wait until you see people who get their medications cut off cold turkey. We go crazy. Our mood swings are insane. They're more insane than a pregnant person or a woman on her period. It is just awful. I've done it, and I'm just I think I burned a couple bridges by accident from doing it, but
oh my God,
I didn't do it on purpose. I was in the middle of a medication change. It sucked. It was awful. Okay, so first things first, Rorie isn't doing anything. I mean, she's doing stuff, but she's not focused on the show.
Can you hear what I'm doing?
It sounds like you're sewing. You're cutting.
Okay. Well, look. See, I'm cutting purposefully while you're talking. So when we edit this, I can cut out my audio while you're talking, and you don't hear snip snips.
I want to hear the snip snips though, because it makes it sound like I'm not the only one talking to myself.
Okay. Well. Oh. Okay. Let's just explain. I am working on a mask. It's not a fursuit, but it is a fursuit.
So what is it
Every
then?
year I make a mask around Halloween to auction off, and it's usually made of burlap. I'm working on a werewolf this year.
Ooh.
And I'm putting reflective vinyl on his eyes right now. But I have to cut the vinyl into teeny tiny circles and glue them on so it reflects in a really cool pattern. Pain in the butt, but I'm doing it because I only have $9 in my bank account right now, and if I could sell this, it would be very nice.
Yeah, because someone mowed a furry as they were driving.
Oh yeah, I hit a freaking deer. No, okay, a deer jumped in front of my car at 3 in the morning, and it was a baby deer, and because it was a baby, my car sucked it up and turned it into hamburger meat, and it in the process of turning into a deer patty. It also took out every single mechanism on the underside of my car.
So is it like it can't even work anymore? It's totaled.
No, it wasn't totaled. It just cost $3,000 to fix,
Oh,
which was all the money I owned in the world. I only make $120 every other week at my job, so I'm
only?
dying.
Hey, you need to get rid of that job. You need to go like work on the
Yeah,
straight.
I'm working on it actually. When I get back from my trip, I will be applying for a different job that pays at least $8 an hour because right now I'm only making $7.25.
Go work for McDonald's. They pay like $14 an hour.
No, they don't. They pay $14 an hour if you're a manager.
Really?
And managers have no lives.
Oh. Well, I mean, okay, go work for Amazon. They pay $15 an hour. They don't have
I'm aiming for Target or Rite Aid.
Now, granted, the thing that you ran over, hello, people go to sleep at 3 a.m. You should be asleep. You shouldn't be out wandering. Maybe it was.
I work the graveyard shift.
Well, no, I'm not saying you. I'm saying like all living things. Like besides you, if you're
Oh,
working,
no, deer are nocturnal.
no, they need to not be nocturnal. They need to be.
Well, they are nocturnal.
What's the opposite of
They're nocturnal, and I knocked it right the
internal?
fuck off of my car.
Okay, well, it said no, not to cross the road. Do they not learn? I'm just kidding. That's awful. You still haven't told
All you deer personas out there, hey, go away.
dear dog
It's
gonna be
I'm
like,
so angry about
you
deer
hate
now
me.
that like I've had 3 nightmares about deer, one of which I killed the deer with my bare hands.
Oh,
And every time I see like a cute deer video online, I'm like, no, all of them are bad.
what about the one that goes? Ah!
That one's bad. All of them are bad. Deer are
I've
stupid. I hate them.
okay. Well, so you've hit a deer. I've actually hit an animal too.
What animal did you hit?
This is the worst one. Man's best friend.
No, if I had hit a dog, I would probably have felt so bad.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep for a couple weeks. I mean, I slept, but it was really bad. It wasn't like amazing.
Did you like did you stop?
I was it was out at night and I was driving home, and here in Utah the fog gets really bad. It's
Yeah.
not really fog, it's during the winter time. Um the fog kind of rolls in and it's really thick. So Utah having fog is just odd enough. So it's really hard to see things out there. Like it's bad enough that you can't see like 5 feet in front of you. There was a clearing though for a bit, and um if you have your lights on in the fog, it's impossible to see. If you turn your lights dim, then you can see way better. So, but that way cars can still see your headlights when you come a little bit closer. So I had it on dim, and I was just driving to survive and hope that I didn't hit a car in front of me or a stoplight or anything of that matter. Um, and the next thing I know, like I just saw this thing like run in front of me, and I hit it, and it made it like it didn't make a dent on the car. There was maybe some like hair, but I was like, what the fuck? And so I pulled over what I thought I pulled over. So this is dangerous as it is, because you pull over in the fog, you better hope no one else is out there driving with you. Granted,
Yeah.
it was only like 10 or 11 o'clock at night because I worked at a fun center and we closed at like 11 o'clock at night. So there shouldn't really be any cars on a side road. But it was still through a residential neighborhood. I kind of walked back and I was looking for like, what the hell am I looking for? And then I come across this thing, which to me looked like a dog. No tag, no collar. So I'm not really sure whose it was. No one was around. Um, the dog was not breathing. So it to me was like, okay, well, it's probably out of its misery. So if I don't, I'm 18 by the way at this point. So we don't really
Oh, you
think.
were a wee bab.
We don't think when we drive. So I'm like, okay, well the dog is dead. So I'm just gonna leave it on the side of the road where it is, and it's fog and it's
I mean,
impossible
that's
to
all you
see.
could have done
Yeah, it's
in
fog.
that
I can't
situation.
see. I'm just gonna go home. And I went home.
Yeah.
And I wiped it off. My mom never knew, and I had nightmares for like
You
this
wiped it off
several weeks. Yeah, I wiped it off.
with a magic eraser and gets dog right off your car.
It was
New
just
selling point.
yeah, new so like no one knew. And then like to kind of just tell you my driving record, if that wasn't bad enough, like 2 months later, I'm driving to our school, and I'm pretty airheady as it is. Um, and so I was driving and I saw this motorhome, and all the windows were tinted, like super tinted, like. And I was just like, oh my god, I wonder if that's like one of those remote control cars or like self driving cars. Self driving cars was a concept; it hadn't actually come out yet, so I don't know why I thought a motorhome would be self driving. So I'm driving and I see that, totally don't focus on the car in front of me, hit my brakes, total the front end of my mom's car, but the car in front of me, their bumper just came undone. They literally just popped it in. They still called the cops, those a-holes. So that was the worst. And so my mom got a new car, but I wasn't allowed to drive it for several months. I had to earn it.
Oh man.
It was awful. So there's my there's my little story of hitting things, several things. I have not hit a thing since then. I'll just say that. Nope.
Okay, well, one more thing about this roadkill story, I suppose. Uh, so my car is pretty big. It's a big square car. It's a Honda Element. I love it to death. And I have been through so much with this car. It almost has 200,000 miles on
Oh,
it. And okay, so the front of my car, you know how you could put a little decorative license plate on the front of your car?
yeah, you can do it on the back too.
Yeah, you could do it on the back as well, but the front plate you could put whatever you want, like a sports team thing or whatever.
Ew.
Well, I had or have, I still have it. It's just in half now. It is a license plate I got off Amazon, and it has two macaws on it, one on each side, and in the middle it just says hello with like exclamation marks. And I thought it was funny because they didn't have to put the words there. It probably would have been better without the words. But also, birds just say hello repetitively, and I just thought, I don't know, I thought it was funny, so I bought it. And I put it on the front of my car. But after I had hit the deer, I came to a realization that the last thing that deer saw before getting smacked is the word hello!
Oh no!
And I still have it on the front of my car. It's just kind of bent and cracked.
That's awful. Hello.
Hello. Goodbye.
It's just like it's one of those moments you think you would see in a sitcom. You wouldn't think it actually happened.
Yeah.
Oh, sad. Oh no. Oh no. People probably hate us right now because they're like, these guys, these sick fucks are just talking about how they hit an animal. Okay, it was in an both of us were driving home late. So there.
Look, man, I didn't call the deer out. I had to pay $3,000 to fix my car, and all the money in my name totals up to $1,000. So I am sad and in debt. Thanks.
Yeah, and then
Come get me, PETA.
She couldn't even sue the deer either for additional money. So
I wouldn't sue the deer. If that thing was still alive but laying on the side of the road, I would have gotten out of my car and been like, fuck you.
No, because then it would have been like making its noise at you. That's probably the noise it made before, right as the impact. That's even worse.
Oh no, that's
Hello.
not the sound it made. The sound it made was and then it got sucked under my car, and then you hear just beef sounds.
Oh, gross.
And yeah, it was bad.
A different type of burger has been made that night.
Have you ever had a deer burger?
No, it's gross. No, actually, yeah, I
Oh.
have. Because if I say no, it's gross, that means I have had it. Yes, I have, and it's awful. I don't like
Yeah,
gamey.
they're not my. It's not my favorite food.
Gamey is gross.
It is pretty gamey, but if I was starving, I'd eat it.
Pretty gamey.
Okay, we need to
So,
move on
anyways,
this conversation.
yeah. So, anyways, so road killed. Bad kids, watch the road. Um. So, okay. So, I'm Space. Hopefully, you have realized this by now. On I Space a lot, as you noticed with our side tangent of roadkill. Um, and I created, or I am the creator of Fur Media. At first, Fur Media was just its like was the actual show, and up until recently, I've decided to make it a network so that we can cover a broad variety of things within the fandom and then with other fandoms as well. So Fur Media was started, I believe, in 2011 of December of 7th. So its birthday is coming up soon, right after mine.
Ooh.
And we usually do something special each year for that. So it's usually like a giveaway or artwork of sorts. Perhaps we'll do a live show. I'll have to figure out what our schedules are. Schedules vary to like from week to week. Um, so I started that. The reason I started it is because I was in transition of jobs, and I was also fairly new to the fandom, and I didn't really know what to do because I felt like I needed to do something in the fandom. Everyone, either had art or they had a fursuit or they made fursuits or they made music videos or they're photographers, all these things. And I didn't have anything to offer except for the fact that my last job um, at that time, I was a social media coordinator. And so I specialized in social media platforms. So I did what I did best was I created a social media platform that was geared towards furries. I learned everything I needed to know about my competition and my opponents, and I used their weaknesses to my strengths, and I did my own marketing campaigns, which they've been successful because we now are up to like 7,000 followers on Facebook, which is, it may not seem like a lot, but that's a lot for someone who doesn't put that much money into actual marketing. Most of it was done word of mouth, which is really hard to do when you're starting off by yourself. Um, and eventually I grew the name further and further. We're still not like it's not like we're the biggest ripple in the pond. We make little ripples, but those little ripples make it around the world ever so lightly, and it makes impacts on people's lives. We're subtle, so we're kind of like that one spice in the cabinet that doesn't get used as much, but we're there, and you know that we're there. So, and that's a good thing. I don't necessarily. I mean, it would be great if one day we were out in the spotlight all the time, but right now we're there, and we're there for those who need it. It's basically to provide a voice and a social connection with furries around the world. The voice would be those of who work on Fur Media, and the social connections can be via Facebook, which apparently now is for dinosaurs, which is bullshit. And then because Facebook still is number one in the social media spectrum, and then of course Instagram is also tied at number one. And oh my god, Instagram is owned by who? Facebook. So it's one and the same. And then we've got Twitter, which I haven't used in like a month or two, so that one's pretty stacked. That's pretty much just floating away by itself without an
We
anchor.
need to utilize our Twitter
We
a little
really
bit
do
more,
because
but
it's better. It's more what do you call it? What was that?
oh, it's children.
Oh, okay. It sounded like a
They're
bear just like woke up. Ooh.
oh, it's a school
Oh,
bus full of
okay.
children screaming.
um,
So it
yay.
is a bear in
Yeah,
a sense.
a kid's bear. Um, that does not make sense. Um, so I lost my train of thought. Where was I?
You were talking about
Oh yeah, Twitter,
But
Twitter.
okay, you're starting about Fur Media's
History. So
history.
yeah, Twitter we didn't use as much because Fur Affinity was huge at the time. And then Fur Affinity would crash, and then people would go over to this other place called Weasel, which sucked ass. And then as soon as Fur Affinity would go back up, everyone left Weasel, went back to Fur Affinity. Then Fur Affinity sold themselves to some like anime sex app, whatever. Yeah,
I envy
IMVU,
you.
whatever. Full of little kids, and people still play with those little kids. I don't know why. It's just weird. And then, why do you use it? Good.
No,
Um,
that's just a bad
it's
sentence.
it's it's not like okay. It's not like it's full of like a bunch of little kids. Like that's just what it is. But
It
there's
is,
also adults on
yes.
there too. And then the worst part about it is IMVU is pretty much as bad as Second Life, where it is just like free reign and there's really like no rules out there. And world life has to have rules, otherwise bad things will happen. And of course, they started doing cross promoting onto For Affinity, where all I saw was just like porn, basically. And I don't mind porn, but I don't want to see it on websites that I like to use for other things. So I use ad blocker now. I don't see ads anymore, and I refuse to turn it off. Um, and so we kind of have a Fur Affinity. We have a Weasel. We don't use Weasel though. I don't really think anyone uses Weasel.
You can't even delete Weasel. Like, they programmed it where you just have to empty
Yeah,
out your gallery.
Weasel. We'll do an art specific episode where we talk about all the different sites like So Furry, Weasel, and Fur Affinity, and how all of them just suck balls individually, and all together they still suck balls. Like you could combine all of them together, and they still don't represent anything that would be close to what DeviantArt is. So it's just awful. But we'll go over that at a time. We've got Telegram, so we have people that chat in Telegram, and then I'm in a bunch of other groups too. So some people know me in there from For Media. Sometimes they don't, and I don't purposely say who I am just so I can, integrate like smoothly because I don't want people thinking, oh, there's someone in here. Oh no, I just want to like cruise. Like a lot of people, I've actually seen people like in the recent weeks in person, and they're like, I haven't seen or heard from you in a long time. And I'm like, yeah, I like to lurk in the shadows like a creeper who's about to jump on you. Uh, and that's pretty much true. Um, Over time, I've created a variety of things. We've tried things, they failed epically, then we've moved on. And one thing that we've always kept is the For Media show. We've always kept doing it, and we haven't stopped. Just because we don't do live shows on YouTube anymore, that doesn't mean that Star has burnt out. It's now here on the recording, audio wise. Now you can take us with you wherever you go because it's an MP3 at this point. Um, and so we've done things here and there. Now we're trying to integrate a new show called Starstream with new hosts, um, and that's difficult because I got to find time for that. And we have myself, Rorie, also known as Moths. Every periodically I'll refer to her as Moths. And then Punya, which you'll see here from time to time. Punya's kind of building her life with her fiance at the moment, so that's taking a little bit of time as well. And there's going to be periods of time where you may or may not hear from us. That's why we're trying to record as many video or these shows as possible, so you have something. Um,
Yeah. And being able to really listen to us on the go and to have that the ease of not feeling like you have to sit and stare at your screen to enjoy our content is just a nice
and that's
freedom that
important
we
for us to
wanted
know
to
is that
have.
you guys get to have that independent time where you can take us with you, but it doesn't have to be in video form. Now it can be in audio form. You could be cooking, you could be doing laundry, you could be cleaning, you could be drawing, fursuit making, whatever it is. Now you can do it in a better. We can basically present ourselves to you better than we were able to in video format. Plus, video format takes a lot of memory, and not everyone has unlimited memory. So that's also something that's important. So that's me. I'm a polar bear
Yes.
thing. Oh,
that was for
whatever.
media, not
That
you.
people know who I am. I'll introduce myself later on. Next episode, I'll go in more in
Oh,
depth of
yes.
next episode.
Okay.
Fine.
No, this is what today's episode is for. We talk about for
Well,
media
I've
and then
already.
we talk about ourselves. But do you want to switch off and you can introduce like you as
Sure,
a
I can.
person and not
So we're
you as
switching
someone on
off
for media?
to another man, me.
You're switching off now?
so, so I'm Space Bear Sparks. I am the creator of For Media. I feel like I'm doing it all over again. Um, in all of that, I do a lot more than
You
For
do more
Media,
than
though.
for
That is true.
media, honey.
So I don't do
Yeah.
just like, it's not
Talk
just
about
For
it.
Media. I actually do hang out with a lot of
Introduce
other
yourself.
types of people. I chat a lot. I try to make connections with others out there. So me as myself, my actual persona's name is Gisette Sparks. Gisette, though, Gisette. So
Wait. Say
JZ,
that first name
yeah,
again.
JZETTE,
Gisette.
Gisette. It's more or less
Oh.
made to be like a cyber steampunk name, but I've never really used it as much. I only use it
Uh
in
huh.
artwork that is steampunk or cyberpunk related, which is few and far between. Other than that, you know me as Space or Space Bear
Mhm.
Sparks or Jedi Knight Space, depending on what platform you're on. And I'm a polar bear that is not white. I mean, I am white, but I'm Caucasian. But my you should.
Oh, I
Uh,
know.
but my persona is got more traits of black and blue. Blue is my favorite color. Blue goes really good on black. I like the kind of stealthiness of it. Little bits of white. Over time, Space Bear has
Mhm.
basically evolved from more feral to more toony, I suppose. And now he's to the point where he just wears an argyle sweater vest and glasses. And so he used to wear like a bunch of cyber tech gear. That was really cool when I was into that. And now I'm more into just life. So it's very more presentable, a little bit more professional, but still playful at the same time. And it's been an evolution. Yeah. Did you say my
Because
personas
personas are
aren't or are?
professional.
Oh yeah, personas are. I
No,
use my.
because
Yeah.
personas are professional.
Yeah, what's this? That's a
On
drawing
your
of myself.
resume,
I
what's
feel
your
like it best
persona?
represents me. You can judge me off that if you'd like to, or take the real resume. I would love to see that actually, and be like, "Oh, he's a furry. Okay, you're hired." Um, or be like, "Oh, this was drawn by your little brother, so I will not hire you because you have bad taste." No, I'm just kidding. Um, everyone starts off awful. So yeah, that's kind of where I my persona is. I don't just do Facebook, I do a lot of other things. I'm in other
Uh huh.
spectrums of like interests or kinks or fetishes. So furry is not my priority. There are other things that are. So I do other things other than furry things that I delve into a lot more. And let's see. Oh yeah, absolutely.
We
Hello,
could delve
yes.
into that in another
Um,
episode,
I'm
even.
also an
Life
accountant for
outside of
software, by
furry.
the way, and I am awful at math. So I don't know how I got put into this position. I feel like God's like, you're bad at this, so we're going to make you really good at it. And so I'm just like, why? I actually do love it. It's hard, but I love it. Plus, I got a killer kick
This
ass
was a
laptop
test.
out
You
of it, though, so
failed.
it's pretty awesome that I'm not using right now. So yeah, that's pretty much like me in a nutshell. I don't do much as far as like activities wise. I like to kind of watch and listen and kind of see how people interact. I'm like a people watcher. So I like to see people's reactions and see what they're talking about. It's kind of how I get my ideas for shows. I see what people do and then I say, I'm going to do it better. And then I try to. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell, though. I'm 31, and that's about it. Oh yeah, and I'm married. I should say that too. I'm married and I'm gay. That's it.
Yeah.
Transitioning over to you, switching over to
Well,
you now, Rorie. Yeah, it's your turn.
okay. I guess it's my turn
No.
for introductions. Okay. Well, my name on here is Rorie. I used to be called Moths, but recently I just changed it to my first name because people were getting confused. And to make things more confusing, I have two personas. Rorie was the one I came up with when I first joined the fandom. She's gone through some design changes, but currently and probably permanently, she is a Samoyed, which is a type of dog, and a Kaik parrot mixed together. And she is my interests and my aspirations and all of that personified to the 1000th percentage.
That's new.
And then my other persona is Bean. She is a Pizzly bear, which is a polar bear and a grizzly bear mixed together. And and she just represents me as I am in the now. No personifications, no extremes, just me. Um, so those are my personas. But y'all can just call me Rorie since she came first. So I make fursuits. I currently make them to earn money and along with a part time job. But I will be closing commissions pretty much permanently after this year is over. But I'm still going to be making fursuits just as pre mades and in my free time. And that is because I am in college to become a teacher. And when I'm in the teaching program, I just won't have time for commissions. So, yeah, I am a fursuit maker and an artist. I don't draw as much as I do sculpt. I love to sculpt and I love fabrications. Um, and I love podcasting. So, those are the things, the basics. I am also engaged to a lovely lady. I am also very gay, just like Space, but for coochie, not for pingies.
A pinky is a coochie. What the heck is a pingy?
I said pingy. A pingy is a penis.
In what realm in world is a pingy a penis? I've never heard that as a term. I'm gonna run that past Felix and be like, "Hey, have you ever heard of a pingy?"
That's okay. It's a joke between my friends. Ah, so yee, that's me. I am a simple person.
You're not simple.
No, I'm not. I'm tired.
You're basic. No, I'm just kidding. I don't understand why being basic is so bad. I don't
It's
understand how
not.
that's like. How did that become a term? Like you're so basic. Okay, well at least I like what I am, I suppose. So yeah. So I guess that's us. Punya's not here to introduce herself, but when we bring her on, we'll have her introduce herself and go into that particular show from that point on. Also, I just saw that Punya is selling her fursuit.
Really?
Yeah. Um, she's selling it on Furbuy. Let's go see what she's selling it for. She just doesn't use her enough. Apparently, she needs it for bills and a few other things. A few of us have gone through a lot of rough patches, and so we do things that we need to do. Sometimes we have to sell things we don't want to necessarily sell. Punya is of a personal thing to herself, so to see her let go of this, I'm sure this was hard for her to do. Um, and it's sad to see it to be up on auction. I almost don't want it to be there, but I guess whatever is necessary. It's perfect. It's her. Um, it's just sad to see it go. So, but we're not leaving it on a sad note. So, what should we ask the viewers to think about for our next show?
For our next show? Hmm.
Oh, I've got something. Okay. Um, on our Facebook page, Telegram, or Twitter, or for Affinity, if you still use that platform, if you've listened to this show, I want you to list off the top 3 things you've done as an act of kindness as of recent. Not because you had to, but because you wanted to. And then we'll read off some of those on our next show where we talk about that question. So,
Okay.
that's our show for today. It's kind of brief. It's sweet. It has information, has stories, sidetracks, all that fun stuff. Things you should always expect in shows like these coming forth.
Yeah, sorry it was so brief, but again, most of our viewers already know who we are.
Yeah,
Um,
so we don't really need to go into
but
details.
we will be working on a website of some kind, and we can have brief descriptions there of who we are and what we do. If you need any more information, and you can always, of course, ask us on like Facebook if you have
Oh yeah.
any curiosity questions.
Most people
Um,
find me on Telegram. It's just Jedi Knight Space. Just find me
yeah,
there.
and my fursuit business is Moth Sickle Suits. And I am just Moth Sickles everywhere else for art.
We can put those links in the description of this
Yeah.
podcast when we put it up. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and look forward to the next show because it should be more fun than this one, if not more interesting. If this is not already interesting.
Side
Anyways, I'm
tangents are fun.
Space. I'm Space.
And I'm Rorie.
And we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.